So you want to do one of those bad boys, huh? But every time that you think that you're ready, can you go ahead and attempt one? You just end up looking like a complete idiot.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Well, you've come to the right video. I'm gonna teach you how to do a muscle up in less than a month. So first of all, there's this huge misconception that you have to be able to do 20 pull-ups and 20 dips before you even try to do a muscle up. I honestly have no idea where this came from, but it seems to be the accepted idea on the internet. Now I'm here to tell you that that is simply not true. Here's the reason. When I did my first muscle up, I could only do 4 pull-ups and around 6 dips. Yeah, just 4. I'm talking about clean reps though, right? Going all the way up and then all the way back down. We all have that one friend that could do 50 pull-ups, but then when you look at their form, it just looks something like this. If you're wondering how long it took me to learn a muscle up, it was around 1 month. From the moment I saw my friend doing a muscle up until I actually did one myself. Now this was relatively quick from what I saw on the internet, but the thing is I didn't use this 20-20 approach that most people have heard of. Theoretically, you only need to know how to do 1 pull-up and 1 dip. Now granted, your recovery time will be much longer, simply because you have to fully recover in order just to do 1 rep. So hopefully you'll understand my analogy after I've given you these 3 tips. So the first tip is by far the most important tip of all of them, and it goes for any exercise that you want to learn. It's imitation. Now for my non-English viewers, that's just a fancier word for copying. Why did I use imitation? I honestly don't know. Probably just a way to convince myself that I'm smart because I learned a few SAT words. You know what? Forget imitation. Let's stick to copying. So what I mean by this is you simply have to do an easier version of the actual exercise. So for a muscle up, you could use bands, for example, or if you don't have bands, then you can get your friend to support you. And the whole point of this is for your muscles to get a feeling of what the actual exercise feels like. You can learn the theoretical aspects of a muscle up all day long, but if you don't actually try it out for yourself, then you won't make any progress. This is kind of tantamount to that method of tying your shoe in 1 second. You could rewatch this video 20 times if you'd like to, but I guarantee you that if you don't try it out for yourself, then you'll never be able to do it. You can even see in the comments that some people have tried it multiple times, but they still haven't gotten it down. And the same thing goes for a muscle up. If you don't try it out for yourself and you don't repeat it enough times, you'll see that you'll have a very hard time learning the muscle up, and it's gonna take you much longer than needed. Powerlifters, for example, do the same thing when they want to reach a certain record. For example, if they can't bench 400 pounds, they will only do the eccentric part of the motion, which brings me to my second tip, negatives. Negatives are usually easier because you have gravity pulling you down, so it's much easier to do the exercise reversed. So as I was saying with powerlifters, they would only do the negative part of the motion, which is basically bringing the bar down to their chest, and then they would have someone help them back up. As I previously mentioned, negatives are easier, so just make sure to control it and go down slowly. So for a muscle up, just get on top of the bar, you know, in any way possible. You can either do a pullover, you could climb, I don't know, or just find a way to get on top. And from there, lower your body really slowly back down. The first time you're gonna go down super fast, but with time you'll see that you'll be able to control it. The whole point of those 2 tips is to get you used to the transition, going from a pull-up to a dip. That is by far the hardest part of the motion, so just make sure to take your time. Everybody's different, so it might take you 1 month, maybe 2 months, maybe even just 10 days. The key thing is repetition. Once you've got that transition down, that's it. That's the pinnacle of the exercise. You're ready to do a muscle up. So a really important bonus tip is wrist flexibility. Now I learned this the hard way through injuring my wrists, so just make sure to do some sort of wrist warm-up before you start. Now the third and final tip is straight bar dips. Dips in general focus on your chest, shoulders and triceps, but straight bar dips focus more on your chest simply because you have to lean a bit forward to stabilize your center of mass. Now this is crucial because you may be doing regular dips, and then all of a sudden when you go ahead and try a muscle up, you'll see that a straight bar dip feels a bit different and you'll need much more chest activation. So to quickly recap this video, so number 1 is copy the process or imitate.
You're an idiot.
You can be creative with this one, just try to find an easier version of the actual exercise. Number 2 is negatives. This will also get your muscles used to the motion, and remember, the slower you do it, the better. The bonus tip is warm up your wrists. And the last tip is straight bar dips. After you've got 1 muscle up down, then I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to do it multiple times. So instead of doing regular dips, do some of those straight bar dips because those will be much more beneficial to you. And also a very crucial piece of info, do your muscle ups safely. If you record yourself doing a muscle up, and one of those frames in that video looks similar to this, then please stop and revisit those tips. This could lead to some serious injury, so just practice it a bit more before trying it again. This video was partially inspired by the top voted comment on last week's video. I love how I act like I had 1,000 comments and that was the top voted, when in reality there were just like 7 comments. Why do I keep roasting myself? So yeah, if you have a video suggestion, then just comment it down below. And if I can give you good advice about the topic, then I'll definitely make a video about it. Anyways, thanks for watching and peace out.